Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Covenant Army Podcast, where our mission is to equip couples to align with God and win the daily battle raging against marriage and family. I am Brent, and I'm here with my number one battle buddy, Miss Lucy.
Hello, everyone.
See, I changed that up this time.
Yeah, a little bit.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
Battle buddy.
Battle buddy. That's from military terms. Well, Army, I should say Army. You had a battle buddy that stood by your side closer than a brother.
I guess that would be me.
That is. You're in battle. Well, baby, if we're at war, right, you're going to be with me in this war.
Of course.
So you're my battle buddy. Budette. How about we name it that? You're my battle budette.
Okay.
Is that cool?
No, but okay.
Well, think about it. I mean, look at it yesterday when, one of the things was, never leave a fallen comrade. Right? It's one of the warrior ethos. Never leave a fallen comrade. And the call came in yesterday, babe, and I needed to to go pick up my fallen comrade.
So I guess we're going to start off today by talking about the great fall yesterday.
What do you mean the great fall?
Okay. So I was getting out of the car, was talking to my friend on the phone, and I had my purse, I had my water cup.
So your hands are full.
A little bit full.
Yeah.
But, it's nothing different than I've done before. Getting out of the car, come around the car to get onto the walkway leading into the house or to the front door of the house. And I don't know what happened.
I know what happened.
But no, you don't, because you weren't watching. Thank the Lord. But somehow I twisted my ankle, came down on the walkway, scraped my other knee. Everything fell except for the phone.
Yes. Everything fell except for the phone.
Oh.
Like you held that thing high.
Well, I was still having a conversation. So I was going to end the call.
When? When were we going to end the call?
Okay. So I'm on the ground trying to finish the conversation and not scream in pain, because when I twisted my ankle and I came down and scraped my knee, it really hurt.
Well, I'm sure.
It was hurting pretty good.
I'm sure it did.
But I didn't want to scream and draw all this attention to me. Like, we have neighbors. So, of course, I'm on the phone and I'm like, okay, I have to end this call and I'm going to have to call her back. So I'm sitting there and she's trying to finish telling me what she's telling me. And then you come out.
Well, because I look out the window and you're rolling on the ground.
I wasn't. Okay. Don't be dramatic. I was not rolling.
You were rolling on the ground.
I was not rolling.
You had fallen and you couldn't get back up. Let's just call it what it is.
I wasn't rolling. I was trying to figure out how to get up.
Do me a favor. Back just a little bit back up your microphone.
Why?
Push it out just a little bit. Yeah, forward. It's coming in a little hard and strong. I think you're getting worked up from the fall. But let's just be honest.
I was not rolling.
When I looked out the window, babe, there was a rolling motion.
Okay, because I was trying to get up.
I said you were falling and you couldn't get up.
The worst part, guys, is that, I don't know, I'm sure everybody has this feeling. When you fall in public, you're like, okay, this hurts, but who just watched me fall?
I don't know if you're more worried about people watching you or dropping the phone or dropping the call. Okay. That looked like that was more important than who was watching you.
Okay.
So, again, running outside, you're on the concrete.
Yeah.
Blood on your knee.
Yeah.
Right? You had fallen and couldn't get up. You needed your battle buddy to run in to help get you up.
And guys, he came running. And
immediately, I had to focus on what was most important, and that was to instruct you in the call. In the call now. You are hurt. You have fallen. This is code red.
Yeah.
You need to drop the phone. You didn't want to hang up.
Well, no, I had to hang up. There's no way I was getting off the ground, but I was, not trying to be rude.
Well, babe, come on now. The point was, you had to end the call.
I did.
I picked up my battle, and I carried you inside.
You picked up your battle?
Yeah, battle, but it. That's you. So I picked you up and carried you inside. But, you were sharing with me this morning that Bible verse that came to you from that.
Yeah.
Well, what was it?
It is, what is it? It's not good for...
No.
That's not the one. It's a different one. Sorry.
So yeah, you're still worked up. You're still having your traumatic experience from this fall.
Which one was it that I shared with you?
It was the one about two are better than one.
Two are better than one.
Right. So when one falls,
the other one's there to pick them up.
And I was the other one.
Yes. Yeah, you definitely were. And boy, today we're getting ready to talk about, this article that we came across. somebody talking about why not to get married. And
Right.
obviously, because we are about marriage,
Right.
like it drew me in, you know,
Mm-hmm.
got my attention. So I opened it up. And literally, as I'm reading it,
Mm-hmm.
it's, it feels as you read that it's a younger person.
Well, you're missing the point. You forgot the point about why the two are better than one in there to pick up.
Oh, no,
It-
no, I was going to go back to that.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead.
No.
To
Well,
a-
yeah, two off are better than one. So one falls, one's there to pick them up. And that was one of those elements of marriage. Because if we weren't married, I probably wouldn't have been there.
yeah, I would have to
Pick yourself up.
somehow crawl into the house.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I can't
yeah.
wait to look at the ring camera to see what we picked up.
Well, tried, not the right angle. I wanted to see what the heck happened that led to the fall.
Right.
'Cause, I mean, I don't know if it's just getting older or what, but
Yeah. What was the attack from the enemy? Went out there and tripped you up.
seriously, because I was just walking.
Before the fall, right? Before the fall.
So
Get it? Wink, wink. Before the fall.
So
yeah,
I'm
we're in
thinking
Arkansas.
how awesome it is to be married,
Mhm.
to have someone come running out to help you when you need help,
Right.
right?
Not
And-
just someone. Your spouse.
Well, my spouse, my
Yeah.
husband,
Yes.
my partner,
Say that again, husband. I like that.
husband,
Yeah.
my husband.
Husband. Yes.
So obviously this article like really bothered me because in moments like that,
Mm.
you need someone.
Yeah.
You need someone by your side to help you.
Mm.
Because Lord knows I wasn't able to walk. I got inside and I'm like, okay, I just need a minute.
Right.
Let me just see if I can, put some weight on it. And it wasn't happening.
Yeah, you were not putting any weight on that.
It was not happening at all.
Right.
And then the other knee's just bleeding. Like,
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, I must say.
I haven't had a scrape like that since I was much, much younger. And I couldn't remember what that felt like.
Did it still hurt?
It hurts pretty good.
Okay, good.
Hurts even more today.
Yes.
So
back to the article.
so going back to this article, like,
Why not to get married?
why not to get married? So as I'm reading it, I can tell that it's a younger person,
Well,
a younger female.
okay. Well, yeah, I mean, come on, think about it. It's way more in their face nowadays in our culture. You know how it talks about in the Bible, hold marriage in high honor. Like marriage should be held in honor.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Above all.
Right.
And our culture has definitely gotten away from holding marriage in high honor, all the way to the point now where people are actually sharing reasons not to get married. Right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them, because as we see in this one article, there was many, many more articles out there as I was looking today before the podcast to kind of, get some feelers out there. And I'm just blown away. Like, this seems to be a narrative that's getting shared more and more in our culture.
Not to get
It's
married.
sad. Not to get married.
Yeah.
So as we look down through this list, do you want to share the list, or you want to go like the takeaways? Why not to get married?
Well, first of all, folks that are out there thinking that it's not good to be married,
Mm-hmm.
God bless you, because and there's many reasons, but just with my experience yesterday
Mm-hmm.
and having my awesome husband carry me through the house because I could not walk, like physically pick me up
Yeah,
and carry me, which I was
I did.
like,
I didn't even get a wrinkle in my cape. That's how prepared I was.
I was concerned.
About what?
I was concerned because, babe, I mean,
Uh-oh.
you
This
know,
is not going to good.
I'm probably not as light as I used to be, 17 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I was concerned. I don't want you to hurt your back or anything like that, but I definitely could not walk. And I, of course, getting right back inside, I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, I go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get up and I can't get up and it hurts. And
Yeah.
so
I carried you to the
you
bathroom.
carried me to the bathroom.
Yes. Now that's marriage, real life, real action.
That is love, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you want.
Mm.
And I don't know why a moment like that just makes you reflect on being together.
Of course.
And then coming across an article like this,
It's garbage.
and this person has no idea what she's talking about.
Well, let's not. I don't want to go too deep in the article, but let's just kind of hit because the name of the article is 7 Reasons It's Okay If You Don't Want to Get Married.
Right.
Right. And I think I don't even know where we found this at.
I came across, obviously,
But
on social media.
yeah, the article is on Bustle. Is that how you say that?
Bustle.
Bustle.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just give the points. I don't want to go into
Yeah.
what it is. But the number one point, reasons that it's okay not to get married, is it's nobody's business.
Well, see, we have to give some context because then people aren't going to know.
All right, we'll give it the context. I'm just for the bullet points, and you're going to give us some details.
Well, because she's going into like, when you're at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Good timing because we're almost at Thanksgiving.
We're almost coming to the holidays.
And
it's November now.
You got family questioning you about where your life is going.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been with somebody for a while and they're wondering, like, are you getting married? Like, where is this going? Because really, if you think about it, once upon a time, you courted somebody or dated. If somebody doesn't know what that means, you dated somebody for a minute.
Courting.
Yeah, and then the next step is you get engaged and you get married.
Right.
So a lot of folks from back in the day, and when I mean back in the day is like the folks that are before Gen Z.
Okay.
Right? That thought like getting married was the next step. So you're around Thanksgiving table and people are asking, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? Are you getting married? So this chick is like, it's nobody's business. If I don't feel like it, I don't feel like it. Right. And I get that. I get it's nobody's business what you decide, but I feel reading through this article that she's more saying it for selfish reasons.
Well, we're going to get into all that too. But I mean, obviously it's from someone's perspective, and everybody's got perspectives. It's just interesting to hear the different side of the coin. Why? Like literally sharing with people, this is the reason you shouldn't get married. Like it's no one's business. Okay, is that really a reason though? I don't know. I'd have to question that. That's not really a reason. That's kind of like just kind of a shove it off. Well, that's not your business, so don't even worry about it. Right?
When we know that's like normal banter.
It is, but especially when you're around family, they're going to want to have questions and find out what's going on in your life.
Well, everybody. Okay, a lot of the folks that ask that are folks that are married and maybe have a family and know that that's like the natural order of life, and as you progress, right? That people don't want to be alone, which is interesting because their next point is it's completely okay to want to be alone.
Well, okay. I mean, again, someone's perspective. But what happens, when we are alone? What happens? Most of us get depressed. We get upset. We feel lonely. When you're like really alone for an extended period of time, it doesn't usually bring out great things in you. If you think about it. Remember the one study we saw with the babies when they did the baby studies and the babies that were shown no affection. Yeah. Just basic needs were being met. Fed and diapers. That was it. But there's no coddling, no hugging, none of that. They had a sharp health decline, and some of them actually died. Yeah. During that study.
Well, I have never met somebody that is just like, I want to be single forever. Like, have you met someone like that?
Not personally, but I mean, maybe somebody out there might think that.
I'm sure. Okay, so she's saying, I mean, if you're happily single, why can't you just stay single? Which, it's fine.
You have a choice to do that.
You can.
Right.
But I don't think people actually just stay single. Because then it's more of a hooking up kind of thing.
Well, if you look at it in that aspect, yeah.
Right? Right. I don't know too many people that just stay single. But, whatever. You want to be single. But don't say that you'd rather be alone, because typically people don't want to be alone.
Okay. Again, unless it's just a way to kind of get around it. So the third part was paper doesn't mean a thing to you. Paper doesn't mean a thing to you. That whole thing is, it's just a piece of paper. What's the difference?
Well, that's just people going into marriage not fully knowing what they're doing.
Well, it's kind of, again, like that response, hey, are you going to church? Well, I don't need to go to church to believe in God. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You don't need to go to church to believe in God, but it is a part of it. Right. It's a part of the relationship. I mean, part of marriage is that piece of paper. That's something that shows that there's something that we've both committed to that we're willing to put on the line because this is important. Right. In the eyes, and in the case as far as a piece of paper, in the eyes as far as the legal authorities above you, like there's something on the line that I'm willing to sacrifice here, So again, I would kind of question that. Well,
I want to ask people, why do you feel like it's just a piece of paper? Like I want an answer to that.
Well, I think it's no fault divorce.
Well, and that's really, as we started to dig more, it's people are afraid of committing to someone and then ending up in divorce.
Right.
So why do it?
Yeah.
Why get married? So
That's
I get that fear and concern with people.
Right.
But everything in life that is good, any success, takes a certain element of risk.
Correct.
And I feel like marriage is just like that. Like, yeah, you're going to take a risk, but if you're not all in, you're never going to get to experience one of the best things in life. And I'm not saying just marriage. Like, obviously, when you're dating, make sure this is the right person. Make sure.
Well, that's on the front side, yeah.
So there's more that goes into it, but honestly, I think marriage is, I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome to be married to somebody that's your best friend that you can talk to about anything and you can feel safe sharing anything. Now, everybody's situation is not the same.
Right.
But feeling safe enough to bring anything to the table and not feel like you're going to be judged, feel like you're heard and understood, and you know each other better because you're able to share to that degree.
So the next point, reasons not to get married, was it's not a guarantee that you'll stay together.
There it is. Here it is, the whole divorce thing.
But if you go into marriage with the mindset that it's going to fail, like if you go into thinking, oh, this is guaranteed to fail, or it's just a matter of time before this fails, you're not going off with the right mindset. Like you're kind of setting yourself up for failure because you've kind of already put the escape hatch in. You've kind of put the lifeboats to the side, expecting the worst, you know?
I understand the fear with some folks because the divorce rate, 50%, about half people on average end up getting divorced. But I think people have to do more research. I think they really need to look and see why these people are ending in divorce. Because honestly, if you go in it the right way, both of you guys understand, and I say the right way, and it's God's way, the way that God intended for it to be.
Yes.
It can work out.
But you have to learn about marriage. You got to want to learn about marriage. The problem is, they don't teach this stuff in school, so most people don't just go out and do it.
Right.
It's not a requirement, There's no training that goes in. Like you can go to get a marriage license. You don't have to do premarital counseling. You just go to the place, pay your $35, and that's here in Florida.
They do give you a discount if you get premarital.
They do give a discount in Florida. I don't know if that's every state. I'm hoping it is because we need more premarital counseling.
But you know what? That's a good idea. I feel like when somebody is like, yeah, we want to get married, when you apply for that marriage license or
take a class.
Yes, there should be a class required.
It should. Required
so you are sure. I bet that'll cut down on that divorce rate.
Well, it is. And we talked about in another podcast. I think it's like a 30% decrease in the divorce rate when you have premarital counseling.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like close to 30%.
So, guys,
that's a big help.
Do your homework.
Yeah.
Marriage is awesome, but you got to do it the right way.
No, obviously, you got to do it God's way. So the fifth reason why you shouldn't get married or you don't need to get married is if you don't want it, you resent it. Now, this one, I kind of agree with this one.
But, okay, you give me your perspective and I'll give you mine.
Well, because if you don't want it, you'll resent it. It's anything that you go into that you don't really want, like you feel like you're going to be pressured into. If you don't go in it with the right heart, there is a pretty good chance you're going to become resentful. I feel that's my service level looking at this response.
Yes. Okay, I agree with you. So, however, forced to get married and what?
Pressured.
Okay, forced, pressured, whatever. And
I say it's encouragement, but go ahead.
And what, like, what situation do you feel that you would be pressured or forced unless you're a younger kid that their parents, like you know? I'm
sure there's some people out there that may be really hardcore. Hey, you guys need to get married. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. What I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but forced or pressured. I don't necessarily know too many people that are forced or pressured into getting married.
There's all kinds out there, babe. Let's just be honest.
I'm just saying, like, to be forced, the only way that I can see that happening is maybe they're younger and, somebody got pregnant and parents are real old school, like, y'all gonna have to get married.
There could be many reasons. I'm telling you, it happens. So that's the reason I said that. Number 6 is there are other ways to show commitment.
That's baloney.
So you don't need to get married. Like, there's other ways you can show commitment that you're committed to someone without being married. I mean, come on.
So you just move in together, you have kids, right?
Well, we can get a dog together. That shows commitment. Come on.
I just can't. I
So,
can't. Honestly, it's like, so you won't get married, but you will have kids with this person.
mhm.
That doesn't make sense in my brain.
Well, yeah. But for some reason, again, people think kids are more final than marriage. They take like this thing like, well, if anything ever happens, it's still going to be me and my kids. And not saying that's the truth, but there is that mindset on it.
It doesn't make sense.
Okay. Well, it makes sense to this person writing this article.
I guess she's writing it.
So number 7 was reasons not to get married. There's other ways to be fulfilled. There's other ways to be fulfilled. I guess my question is, what are you trying to get full? Like, what are you trying to fill?
Yeah.
Because
And it's okay. So maybe if
So
you're
is
one
this
of these people that just listen, I want to be single. I don't want to partner up with anybody. I just want to be single and work and make my money and just do my own thing forever.
well, is that the thing being fulfilled? Are they talking about fulfillment as just happiness?
Well, and this is where I feel like this person is really young. Because if you've been on this earth for, let's say, longer than 18, 19 years, 20 years, I guess you'd have to go over 30, maybe, right? You'd understand that just going through, jobs, making money, and doing your thing doesn't really make you happy. And you're not really fulfilled.
But that happens to different people at different ages.
But typically not when you're young.
Not young, because you really don't know a lot. It's very limited information that you know and very limited life experience. Like for myself, to be 100% honest, life didn't become really real to me, I'm going to say, until my mid-30s, when I really started to think about and analyze things.
And that's what I mean.
The real value
Right.
of life.
Yeah, that's why I believe that this person is really young. They don't really have life experience or relationship experience to the degree of understanding
Right.
that, like, real fulfillment and real happiness in life where you don't feel like you have holes to fill. I feel you only find that in family, in relationships within the family. As you grow as a family, as you grow as husband and wife, there is a sense of fulfillment there if you can understand how to be content with what God has blessed you.
And that's a big part that changed for me, was my relationship with God. Once I started really putting God first and focusing in on what's important to God, that's when my eyes were really open, that I could really see the value of what I've been given.
Yeah.
And that was the big game changer across the board, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel that God opens your eyes to what you do have
100%.
instead of what you don't, because people are always looking, okay, well, I don't have this. I need to go get this.
So those are 7 reasons why not to get married.
According to this person.
To that person.
Yeah.
But we come up with our own. I mean, we got 1. I put some extras in there, so I don't know if I should count them or not, because they may not make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
I got 7 too.
Okay, go ahead.
And some of them seem pretty close, but these are 7 reasons we think you probably shouldn't get married.
Okay.
You agree with that? Did I tee it up well?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is reason not to get married. If you still want to act like you're single.
That's a good reason not to get married.
That is a good reason not to get married. Like, if you still want to be single and live the single life, probably shouldn't get married.
Right. The Bible says when you get married, you're going to have some issues, right? There's going to be some problems.
Yeah.
Why are there going to be some problems? Because you got 2 very different people merging lives together. There's going to be some conflict. However, when you can grow through that conflict and resolve it in a healthy way, there's a fulfillment in that because you grow closer together.
100%.
But yes, I agree. If you still want to act like you're single, don't walk down the aisle with anyone.
The second one was you want to be selfish. I want to be selfish. Me.
I feel like that's synonymous with single.
It ties together. It really does. At the heart of it is probably is selfishness.
Yeah.
But when you start, I mean, really, if you've always got to think about you first before anyone else,
Probably shouldn't
pretty
get married.
selfish.
Yeah.
Probably not a good idea to get married.
Right.
It's not saying you can never get married, but being married, you're not going to be first.
Right. Well, you're not supposed to be first.
I was gonna say, doing it God's way, you're not gonna be first.
Yeah.
You're actually gonna think of your spouse before yourself.
Right.
And that's a game changer.
So the next one you got, if you don't want to share.
Again, kind of ties into selfishness.
Yeah, that reminds me. This reminds me of when.
I know what you're gonna say.
Food.
Go ahead.
Food.
Okay, this is hitting too close to home. Yes.
So
I had a problem when we first got married.
Sharing food.
Sharing my food. Because this is my deal. If I order a plate of food, I order it because I want this plate of food.
Okay, but you know why you thought that way, though?
Because I was selfish.
Well, yes, you were selfish, but however, digging deeper, you kind of grew up like you were an only child.
A little bit, yeah.
So I'm sure nobody was trying to pick some stuff off your plate, right?
No,
okay.
no.
So I can understand that once we dissected it. Because at first I'm like, wow, you are just really selfish. You don't want to share
but
with
my
your
thing
wife?
was, okay, let's keep it simple. If I ordered fries for myself, it's because I want these fries. And I ask you before I order, hey, will you want some fries? No, I don't really want any fries.
Yeah, but they taste different when I get to share them with you.
Exactly. So, yes, I had a problem sharing, and I want to thank the Lord here today because God has freed me. I will share my food now with my wife.
Yes.
Actually, I offer it up freely
yes,
as a sacrifice
yeah.
to you, 100%. So, what's the next one?
Well, so if you don't want to share, don't get married.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a
the
good
next
reason.
one, if you don't want to have to be accountable to anyone else.
Yeah, that's another big one.
See, all of this ties with selfishness. I just want to say that the root of all of this is being selfish.
Yeah, so you can't be selfish if you want to be married.
Because
Yes.
that being accountable to like someone else, it reminds me of money.
Well, it's money, and then also, why do I need to tell my spouse where I'm going or what I'm doing?
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one. Because a lot of people are like, well, I don't have to ask permission.
Yeah.
I'm a grown man or I'm a grown woman. I'm
Yeah.
grown. I can do my own thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not the right attitude to have in marriage.
Or money as well.
And then money is a big one too.
I don't
where
need to
people are
ask you if I want to spend some money.
yeah, I work for my
This is
money.
my money.
Listen, let
That's a
me
big
let me just say something real quick to the married folks.
Well,
If you guys are married
Mhm.
and you guys are out there talking about, oh, this is my money, this is my money, when it's supposed to be our money,
Mhm.
y'all might want to talk to someone, get some help about that, because that's going to cause some division and some upset in your relationship.
Okay, so we can skip the next point because I kind of talked to it. And you want to come and go as you want.
Yeah.
Not really thinking about the other person. Again, kind of selfish.
Right.
Reason not to get married. Oh, this is a good one. If you don't want to be committed to one partner, probably shouldn't get married.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Guys, I know we're in this culture of you can just go have sex with anyone and everybody feels like it's cool, free to be me. Like, it's empowering for, men and women to go out and,
Not just
have
women.
multiple sex partners.
Well, yeah, it's not cool. And let's be honest, like if you're going to get married, and listen, guys, just take it for what it is. This is meant to be your last partner forever.
Yes.
Forever. Like take that to the bank. And if you're not ready to make that commitment, don't get married. Like be honest with yourself. Take accountability.
Yeah.
I don't think I can be faithful to this person for the rest of my life. If that's your response, don't get married.
And go seek help because you might have another issue.
You could have another issue. And the last one that I put here, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to change. If you get married, you are going to change. And it's not necessarily your partner's going to change you, but check it out. When two become one, there's a changing process that's happening there.
Yeah.
You cannot stay the same.
Even a single person, for somebody to even say, oh, I don't want somebody to change me, that's just silly to say. Because think about 10 years before where you're at now. You were different. Anybody would have been different because you're continuously growing.
Right.
So,
well, think about that. Talking about growing and changing. If you stay the same, you're not growing. So it's going to stunt your growth if you just want to stay selfish the way that you are right now. It's like being a little kid. What's the Bible say? Like when I was a kid, I thought as a kid, but when I became a man, I put away childish things.
Yeah.
I don't want to put away my childish things. I want to stay the same.
And listen, in this culture, there are a lot of people that want to be adult children.
Is that even a term? Adult children?
I'm putting
not the way we normally talk about it, though.
Right. People want to be kids.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with having fun.
I think you should have fun.
I think you should definitely have fun together and
Laugh together.
Yeah, laugh together, go do fun stuff together. It's when the fun element is getting in the way of you being responsible in your relationship, in your marriage.
Okay, guys, so there's our reasons why not to get married, but we didn't want to leave it there. Like, we want to talk about reasons you should get married. 3 simple reasons. Did I put 3 on there? That's what I was thinking when I wrote it. Right? 3 reasons you should get married. So we heard about why you're not, a couple why you're not, reasons that we said you're not.
Yeah.
But these are reasons why you should get married. And number 1, you want to read it? Want me to read it?
Go ahead.
Okay. It honors God. You should get married, number 1, ultimately because it honors God, right? Marriage is meant to be a reflection of Christ in His church, right? Marriage is God's idea.
Yeah.
So anything that God creates and makes is good. Mm-hmm. And marriage was that thing where God said it's very good.
And then if you do want to get married and you do want to honor God with it, like it's God's idea, go back into God's instructions and find out how to do it the way God meant for it to work. Mm-hmm. Obviously, He doesn't make you do it the way He would prefer you do it, right? He has the instructions. He gives you the instructions, and you have choice. You have choice if you want to pick the instructions up and say, you know what? I've done it my way this whole time, and it hasn't really been working so hot. Mm-hmm. Maybe I can learn something.
And that's a good place for Christian premarital counseling. Mm-hmm. Sit down and talk about just that, God's design for marriage and the way the marriage is meant to be based
before they get married.
Yeah, premarital counseling.
But people that are married that aren't,
you can go back and do premarital counseling.
At that point, I wouldn't call it premarital. It's just marriage counseling. Hey, let's be real.
Hey, you got the instructions after you got the job, man. You can go back and get retrained if you're not doing the job properly.
Well, that's what I mean. It's just marriage counseling. Then you're just getting retrained.
Yeah, but if you say premarital, they might take it a little easier. A lot of people, you say marriage counseling, they start to, I'm not going to marriage counseling. I'm too good for that. I don't need that. You need that. And it's got like of a twisted thing. But if you say, hey, man, let's go get us some, coaching.
Coaching.
Mentoring.
There you go.
Coaching or mentoring. Call it whatever the heck you want to call it. Yeah. But if it's not working out great, guys, go back to the instructions and find out why it's not working great. Don't just keep, knocking it the way it is. All right. So second part, reasons why we think it should get married. You want to read it? Let me read all these.
Start a family?
Yeah, start a family, right? Children.
And that's a big point there with kids, because a lot of people nowadays don't even want to have kids.
That's crazy.
But I'm going to tell you, just kind of playing devil's advocate here for a second.
No, we're not going to be playing devil's advocate. Not in my house.
Hey, listen, because I could see where people look at other people's kids that are like teenagers now, that aren't being parented right, and they're like, oof, I don't want to deal with that. I'm just not going to have kids. Which, again, it's kind of cowardly, guys, because if God blesses you with kids, He's going to equip you, and He's there to help you through the parenting process.
And He gives you grace and mercy for those kids when they make you want to pull out your hair. He does.
Yeah.
He gives you a little extra, sauce in the tank to deal with those times when it gets tough. But yes, children are a blessing, right? And it's in God's word. What did God say? Multiply and fill the earth. Mm-hmm. He blessed them, the husband and the wife, and then He told them, right? Now multiply and fill the earth.
Yeah.
That's the blessing, right? And then reign together as husband and wife.
I laugh because fill the earth, multiply, fill the earth sounds like you should have more than one kid. But there are people that are like, I can't. I just have to have one.
Well, that's between them and God.
Maybe 2.
Well, again, back in the day, did we talk about this in the other podcast, or at least we're having the conversation? Like back in the day, people were having quite a few kids.
But yeah.
And, it's went from, my grandparents had 15.
Yeah.
I think your grandparents had a lot too.
10.
Yeah. To now, like, if people have 3 kids, they think you got 4 eyeballs and, 15 toes. It's like, oh my gosh, how do you guys do it? The Lord. The Lord helps us.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the third part, and these are great. Like, this is real practical stuff. It's better for your health. You live longer.
They actually do have studies that they've done.
Yes.
That they say that being married is providing longer lifespan for people, like when you're married.
Yeah. I think it keeps your blood flowing.
Well, some people that are not in a very good place in their marriage like to say that the marriage is going to kill them.
Well, statistics will show opposite.
Exactly.
So yeah, better health.
I mean, go out there and do your own research, educate yourself. It is better to be married.
Yep. Better financially.
Oh, for sure.
Like you got more opportunities to earn more when you have a husband and wife working together.
If you do it together, because you still got the folks that are like, well, no, this is my money and that's...
Yeah, that could be a problem.
So...
But again, putting it under God's design and plan. And I'm not saying you're going to make more money just because the husband and wife are both working. But when the husband and wife are working together and they're making things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that husband feels encouragement by his wife, like he's doing a great job, he's going out, he's going to do more at work, even in a shorter amount of time, because he's going to go in with the best attitude. He's going to go knowing he's supported by his wife. He's going to be able to put that full front.
So hold on, because you start talking about both people.
What?
Working.
No, I said both people don't have to necessarily work. I'm not saying it's just the two incomes that is increasing the financial.
So now you're talking about just like if the husband decides that he's going to go out and work, mom stays home with the kids.
If she chooses to do that, there's still benefits within that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Because think about it. When that husband, again, has that support and he goes out and knows that him and his wife are a part of the team, working together, encouraging one another,
well, yeah,
he's going to perform better in the workplace.
Same with the wife. If the husband comes home and he's ready to dive into home life and partner up with the wife.
Yes.
With the stuff around the house, with the kids.
Well, overall, it's going to make things better. And again, I think that's what helps with the health, right? Because it lowers the stress levels. Because, again, you're not one person doing it all. You're working together as a team.
Two are better than one.
Yep. Hey, that's what the word says. We're going to believe it. And last but not least, like, it's better for society.
Okay, so you got more like 5 points instead of 3.
I don't know. So good. I couldn't stop. There's so many. I had a hard time picking. But it's better for society, right? When we have more healthy, godlier marriages.
Healthy, godly marriages.
Yeah, healthier. Yeah. We have stronger families, right? Stronger families, which lead to stronger communities, which leads to a healthier society as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, that's the benefit of marriage, right?
I just don't know why anybody want to do it by themselves.
I'm going to tell you why. Because the enemy has done a great job of deceiving the world to believe that marriage is not important.
Sad.
Right? Just like the person that wrote that first article. Somewhere in their mind, that person began to believe, I don't need marriage. It's not really that important. I can actually be okay without it.
I'm going to tell you what. When you are climbing out of your car and you twist your ankle and you fall and scrape your knee and you can't get up, you're going to want that spouse right there next to you, willing to run out and help you up.
Amen.
And help take care of you.
Yeah, and just think about all the cool memories we get from moments like that.
Thank you so much, baby, for taking care of me.
Yes.
And carrying me around the house.
All the time, babe, as long as the good Lord will allow me. I carry you to and fro.
Amen.
So, here's the battle plan, right? We recognize that Emmy has done a great job of getting a foothold in this area of marriage. But we need a battle plan. It's not enough just to have this information. What are we going to do with what we've been given?
Tell them what we're going to do.
All right, battle plan. Number 1. We need to do a better job of modeling healthy, godly marriages. Yeah. We need to do a better job.
Yeah.
Right?
When you say we, you mean like we and the
Covenant
body
Army.
of Christ?
Body of Christ, the covenant army, coming together and doing a better job to show people something different.
And if you don't know how to do it right, get some help.
Well, find you a couple that is doing it right.
Yeah.
Find you a couple that you can say, that right there, we need that in our marriage. We want more of that. Yep. Find them, become friends with them, go hang out with them, and find out what they're doing.
Yeah.
Find out what's working, right? Number 2, we need to share with our family and friends the truth about marriage because there's a lot of false information going around about marriage that's discouraging.
Yeah.
Like if everybody's telling you, oh, it's the old ball and chain, it doesn't get any worse than this. Hey, if you want to be happy, stay single.
Who the heck came up with that old ball and chain mess?
Probably somebody in prison. That's what it was. That's what you think about a ball and chain. You're all locked up. I don't know where it came from.
That's terrible.
But I don't feel like there's a ball and chain.
Not at all.
Like you're my little Red Bull. You give me that stuff and I get wings and fly. So it's just the opposite. What? It is.
Go to their point.
All right. So number 3, and I love this one, right? Marriage needs to be honored by all. Yeah. Marriage needs to be honored by all. And again, it starts with us. If we hold marriage in high esteem, as God calls us to do, according to his word and his way, it will get back to the place that it was. It being honored. And people will see that, and they will strive that, and they will want that for their family. Nothing is more awesome than seeing a husband and wife loving each other the way that God calls them.
Amen.
It gets you talking. That will get you, like you and your wife late night going, did you see how Bob and Sue respond to one another? I have never seen a couple that loving and affection to each other. Did you see the way that he spoke to her? Wow.
It is the worst thing. Now that you say it's the worst thing to see people out in public and seeing a wife talk down to her husband in front of people or vice versa, where they're being disrespectful. It's like, how did you get there? That's not a good reflection of Christ in the church.
That'd be a good podcast. We need to find out, how did you get there?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next time. So, guys, we hope you enjoyed this podcast. And now you're starting to think, man, there's a lot of good reasons to get married.
There are.
Right?
And there's many more than what we listed, for sure.
Go check it out. Google's a great resource. We use it a lot. But it's important. Marriage is important. Family is important, guys. That's what Covenant Army is all about.
Yep.
Standing for God, standing for marriage, standing for family. Right? It's worth fighting for every single day. So, guys, we hope you've enjoyed this podcast. So we're calling on you, Covenant Army. Until next time, we love you guys, and Godspeed.